Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Stephanie Miles. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation for this interview in my new studio.
Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
it's a big pleasure. As you can see, we have a very artistic place to talk about soundscape and about music therapy.
Yes.
So Stephanie Miles, it's an American artist and a silversmith, a mother tongue English professor at University of Salerno, Italy, living on the Amalfi Coast. So she's quite a very very important person. So that's why I'm wearing elegant dress.
And I'm going to my studio after.
Okay, okay. Your studio. What are you doing? Tell us.
In my art studio is where I create my jewelry and other objects, so not just jewelry. I share it with a friend of mine who's a Polish artist, and we're both inspired by nature and the sea, and so it's a small space, but it's a start for where we can work and show our things. And
Where is it?
it's in Vietri Sulmari in the town center, but not on the main course though. So
Okay.
sometimes you have to explore a little bit to find us.
And what is the name of this beautiful studio?
The location is listed as SM Gallery because we have a little exhibition, not only of our work, but also some other jewelry artists who are international. But then everything that I create, I put it under the label of Studio di Mare.
Studio di Mare. Great. Okay. Talking about music therapy, how did you know about music therapy? How was your first music therapy experience? Because this is also why we got to know each other, because this is
Yes.
when we got to know each
Yes,
other.
when we first met. Actually, the friend that I mentioned that I share my studio with, she had met you or learned of you previously, like one time previously,
Definitely.
and had heard you were leading a group music therapy experience that was open, kind of an open house sort of event, and so she invited me to join her. So I said, okay, sounds interesting, let's go.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Anya's Nature Art, which is her logo. She's also producing jewels. She's her colleague, and she's a great artist like Stephanie Miles. So how were your expectations about this music therapy group with an unknown person, a
Yes,
strange
a
person?
strange person. I don't think I had any expectations. I tried to keep an open mind and just see what happens when I arrived.
That's the best ever way to put yourself before a new experience, especially a new emotional experience like
Mhm.
music therapy.
Yeah.
So, how was it? Were you satisfied at the end? How will you describe to somebody who never experienced, for example, group music therapy?
Okay. So this group experience, there was maybe around 10 people who attended. So there was me and my friend, and then other people that I did not know. There was one woman I recognized as a colleague I attended something else with, so I had a little bit of familiarity with her.
Yeah.
But we mostly we weren't really encouraged to talk. We were in our socks. We were in comfortable clothes because it was not just music, it was also a bit of dance and movement.
Yeah.
And so you led us through different exercises, told us to pick up different instruments or to get up and move in a certain way, either together or individually, so that each of us just could play, really. And so in the beginning, I think everybody was a little bit timid because we didn't know each other and we didn't know how to behave and we didn't know what we were supposed to do. But then after a little while, you start loosening up and you see, oh, that was fun that they did. I want to do that. Or, oh, I could do this instead. And so
Wow.
you start thinking of other things to do, and then you let down your inhibitions and you become more comfortable and relaxed.
I still remember how Stephanie Miles was good in that music therapy group session, and I still remember that her letting free her body, letting express her body very well. Now, I ask you about something different. How was your first experience with soundscape, because today we are talking about soundscape
We are.
experience,
Yes.
which is an individual session
Uh-huh.
instead of what you said before about the group
Uh-huh.
session, and it's you tell what is.
Okay, so soundscape was me alone in your studio here. I don't know if you can see the,
No,
well, not in
actually,
the
in the
foreground.
no
In the
in the
foreground, we
camera.
have the rest of the studio where you can see where you lay on a comfortable bed, and you're fully clothed, so it's not like a traditional massage where somebody's, you know, touching
Yeah,
you and all that.
yeah.
You're just wearing comfortable clothes. You're laying on the bed, and you close your eyes and you let her do her work. Her magic.
So how did it help you somehow, the soundscape, in your personal life
Uh-huh.
after trying it?
Well, you created many different sounds and sensations, and for me, it was a lot like having a guided meditation without someone speaking and telling me the story I was supposed to imagine. I just let the sounds create a story in my mind. So one sound might trigger a memory or a sensation, perhaps even bring up something that was a little stressful from the past,
Absolutely.
and you move through that and then let it go. And so for me, I've been through some. I'm from Florida, and so I've been through some hurricanes. And I can remember one that, although I was full of adrenaline during that experience, it was a Category 3. We were expecting a 1, so a 3 we would have evacuated, but a 1 you stay home and just hunker down and uh, stay calm. But in my home by myself, it was a bit like at the time it was exciting for me. But now I look back, and anytime there are really heavy winds like we get here in the wintertime, I kind of tense up quite a bit. And so after the music therapy, I've learned to relax a bit more with it. Okay, I don't have this anxiety so much. Just don't like it as much. But the anxiety has, I think, dissipated quite a bit.
I am very proud of you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, to whom would you recommend to try soundscape?
I think anybody who has an open mind, anyone who would want to have a new experience, anyone even who's traveling and likes to do spa therapies and stuff like that when they go on vacation, this could be a very interesting alternative experience to try because it is very relaxing. Um, as long as you can get out of your head and not be blocked in allowing a new experience to happen.
Okay. Now I want to talk about your earrings. No, your earwings,
Ah,
right?
yes, my earwings. These I started making a couple of years ago, and they became very popular. And so
And
this
that's
was
so.
probably like the third or fourth pair that I made, and I have a special secret solution that I create patinas with, and I put it in there and kind of forgot about it, this particular pair. And so when I pulled it out, it really decomposed a lot, and so this is my
Yeah, I can
Urban
see. I can
Decay
see that.
style. It's really very, very delicate, so I've not sold these. They've become mine because we'll get
So
these
you have
embossed.
to take it for yourself.
So
What
I
a
needed a
pity.
pair. Normally they're fully intact. There's not holes in them, but I try to achieve different patinas.
They're really beautiful and also very. They give the feeling of something ancient,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
holy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the wings basically they symbolize freedom. Actually, the whole series I call the Freedom series. And so I'm
Freedom.
taking this, and I have a smaller set as well. And I change the shapes. I've joined them. I've made some pendants. I also collect sea glass where I live, and so I'm incorporating sea glass into some of these designs. And I really love working with the metal and doing everything by hand. So
Wow.
everything that I do is by hand.
I know that in fact today I'm wearing some beautiful jewels made by Stephanie
Yes.
Miles again.
So yes, these are
Yeah.
my stars, which are also I've gotten a lot of compliments on, and
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And tell me about this. This is
this
also made by you.
this is
Yeah.
made by me. This is something I did in
Is it
college.
double size,
It is
right?
actually.
Okay.
I call this the Echo Box.
The Echo
It
Box.
is inside. There's an enamel on both sides here, and I made this when I was in college actually,
Hmm.
and it's kind of a
So very
kind of
long time
a
ago.
landscape piece of a very particular special place.
Hmm.
And so I'm
Landscape.
starting to work on doing enamels again because I really love it's basically painting on metal with glass. If you're not familiar with enamels, so
Wow.
I'm starting to relearn that process with the torch because I don't have a kiln here yet.
Hmm.
All these that I did in college were in the kilns, and so torch enameling is slightly different, and so I'm still trying to master that.
Mm. But every single piece made by Stephanie Mize is
Mhm.
as artistic and as beautiful as you all can see. So thank you for
Thank you.
giving me the chance to wear this beauty today. I feel more beautiful.
Always beautiful.
So, you used a word that is very important for me because you used
Yes.
landscape.
Yes, it's true.
And you all know that in my logo, Soundscape, my payoff is sound made landscape.
Mhm.
Would you like to tell us why, in your opinion, it's like this?
Because with the sounds, you're creating a landscape in your mind, a scene, okay? And so when you close your eyes and you listen to the experience of all the different non-traditional and traditional music that you play, it creates a different experience every time. So you have a new landscape in your mind that you can imagine.
What actually am I doing during the soundscape?
I imagine you're running around the room. My eyes are closed, so I don't see what you're doing.
Because yeah,
But you're moving around the room and you're playing different instruments. Sometimes you go over to your piano and you play some pieces, and so you create a variety of rhythms and sounds. Sometimes very quiet, sometimes a bit louder, and you just change them up. So it changes the tempo. It's not all like complete spa music.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's a mix.
But it's everything made by by music hands for sure. But to create a relaxation
Yeah.
into the
And so
into
there's some
the
intention.
person.
And so I think sometimes like for me that wind sound that I picked up, it created a little bit of tension, and then you let it fade away. And so then that's how I was able to release that tension that came up in my body. And the music also creates vibrations. So that's how the massage effect actually happens
Yeah,
as well. Because
absolutely.
if you're sensitive enough to understand the feeling of the music, the sound waves coming over you, you feel it.
And I definitely feel the person who's having the soundscape in that moment. I establish a connection with that person, the person, um, and even without words, I know that I can imagine that this can sound very strange. Without verbal connection, we have a deeper connection with non-verbal,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
so the body of the person who is um, laying on the bed and keeping the eyes closed is actually talking to me
Mhm.
in a different way, and this
Mhm.
is how I can understand what you as
Yes,
a
I
body
imagine you can
are
see a little
telling
maybe a
me.
tension in the muscles and then the relax.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is this is part of landscape.
Mhm.
Okay. So somebody asked me this question that I give give to you. Okay, what if if I am okay? I have no problem. So should I do I need this kind of therapy only if I have problems, or only
I think
if I need to
No, I think it's for
manage
anybody.
something?
If you enjoy having relaxing experiences, this is perfect.
Okay,
You
okay.
don't need to have a problem. I mean, I think we all have stress in our life and everyday life, so you don't have to have any mental issues, deep emotional problems. Everybody has a little bit of stress every now and then, and so it's nice to just sit and relax and just enjoy and experience.
Okay, that's great. So why to choose soundscape in your opinion instead of something else?
Okay. Well, some people maybe uh, are maybe curious about a massage experience, but maybe they have a little bit of aversion of being touched. I mean,
Hmm.
especially in these days of the pandemic, you don't want a stranger touching your body.
Absolutely.
So in this way, there's no touch, and you can just relax and enjoy the sound.
There is no touch. This is very important to clarify. It's because the therapy is made by sound. Actually, sounds are touching the
Mhm.
body of
Mhm.
the person, but not me physically. This
Mhm.
is important to
And so
clear.
it's very
Just to
important because some
clarify.
people do have an aversion and don't want to be touched or
Okay.
have a fear about it. So.
Okay. So three reasons why you suggest to try soundscape at least once in life.
Why not?
This is the first.
Why not? Why be afraid to try something and see if you actually like it?
Mm.
I mean, people say, "Oh no, no, it's not for me." Well, how do you know? Have you ever tried it?
Mm.
Probably
It's
not.
like I don't like fish and chips, but I never tried it. So how do you know that you
How do
don't
you
like
know?
it?
Yeah. So okay, so try it at least once, and you may surprise yourself.
Yeah. Okay. And other two reasons?
Other two reasons. Okay, so again, if you want to have a relaxing experience and you're open to new things, this is a great thing to try
Mhm.
because it's not offered everywhere. It's a yours is very unique, especially,
Yeah.
but music therapy in general is not d- done everywhere.
Yeah. 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 You said something also important that soundscape is my own creation, so it's something that you can experience only with me, only in this studio or by using remote therapy. Also with I do actually I have also some international clients,
Mhm.
and I do it also with people from other countries.
Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, because they understood the importance of the experience, which is unique,
Mhm.
completely unique, and they
Mhm.
know that I am the only person who they prefer to,
Mhm.
they can prefer to experience this. Okay, so talking about this, why a foreign person like you? You're
Mhm.
American, I am Italian. Why a foreign person could be curious, could be happy to experience this soundscape therapy, and why, in your opinion?
Having worked in tourism, I know that a lot of people love to come to Italy. They love to come to the Amalfi Coast. Many people who come here are repeat visitors, and so sometimes they're looking for something new to do. They've already seen maybe all the major attractions, and they come and they want to see experience something new, something that is very memorable to make their vacation really special, and this is something that you can't get in every part of the world. So it's a very special treat to do if you're visiting this region.
You know that I offer soundscape also as a gift for somebody. Like, for example, it's your boyfriend's birthday. You decide to gift him with the
Yeah.
soundscape. So even if I don't know the person, but the person receives this gift, then we can establish a connection,
Mhm.
even from remote eventually, because what is important is to let sound talk, as
Mhm.
you know. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
Stephanie Miles is also the official creator of Soundscape gadgets.
Ah,
So,
yes.
which we will not show them, which we will not show to them today because it's a surprise. We keep it as a
Yes.
surprise. So you need to participate my challenges on YouTube and all my videos that I'm giving, and the lucky one will win a beautiful object handmade by the artist Stephanie Miles. If somebody would like to contact you, how can they do?
The easiest way is to look for me on social media under Studio Damare. That's my
Studio
main social media handle, and so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think I don't have anything really.
YouTube, I think.
My channel, I don't have anything posted yet, but my website,
Okay.
really. There's a
Okay.
contact page on my website, so studiodamare.com.
Okay. They will contact you for sure. Contact Stephanie Miles because she's an artist, a total, a complete artist. So
Mhm.
she can create. Do I remember right? You're working on ceramics sometimes. You're working also
I've
with
dabbled in
wood
painting ceramics. I don't have
painting.
I do it in another studio, but I do
Yeah.
enjoy it. I'm still trying to master that because
Mm.
painting ceramics is a bit different. The
Yeah.
colors are not the same in the jar as they are when it's fired. So
Mm.
you have to think about how the colors come out.
Mm.
I'm not familiar enough with them, but it's practice and that's good.
So thank you very much, Steffi, for this interview. And by saying goodbye and see you very soon to our people who are listening to us, we are saying soundscape.
Made landscapes.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Steffi.
Thank you, Isabella.